So you get yourself a new gun and you are considering, should I get a red dot or should I get a light first? Well, that's the age-old question. So let's dive into it. First of all, which one is going to serve you better in general, right? Uh, can you sight your handgun without a red dot optic? Can you effectively find your sights and make accurate shots? Absolutely. Do you need a red dot on your gun? No. But it kind of looks like a backwards hat, and all the cool guys are doing it, and I get it, yeah, but it's also like $300 plus for a red dot that doesn't magnify, it just projects a red light. And yes, it allows most shooters to shoot slightly better, and I say better in terms of the fact that it can generally be a little more accurate because you have one less shooting fundamental that you have to worry about, which is sight alignment. You still have to worry about sight picture somewhat, not quite as much, right? You're not front sight focusing, but nonetheless, you can still make accurate shots with or without red dot as long as you're a good shooter. So how about weapon light? Is a weapon light fundamental for shooting? No, you don't need a weapon light to shoot. However, can you positively identify your target at night? Are you carrying a handheld light? Maybe you can. Hopefully you're already carrying a handheld light. However, can you shoot with one hand, more or less, or in a supported flashlight position with your handgun? If you cannot, or you don't train that way, I highly suggest buying a weapon mounted light first, because it allows you to get two hands on the gun for a proper grip, better grip at that, and it's much more shootable this way. Now, if you're trying to shoot with a flashlight, any of the flashlight positions, you're pretty much going to be shooting one-handed. What's the cost of weapon mounted light? TLR 7s are what, $100, maybe $120 a piece. This is a TLR 7 HLX, super high lumen, super high candela, more than the average consumer would need, and they're like 150, maybe 180 bucks. You could step it up and get something duty grade for $150 to $200 from Streamlight. You can go all out and get a Surefire. Hell, you can even get an Olight. I know guys that run them, and they're phenomenal. They're bright as shit. I've had an Olight that I ran on patrol for years, and it worked great. So there's options out there. But do you really need a red dot first? No, you don't. A weapon mounted light should be the first thing you get. It's going to change your holster as well. So if you're going to buy a gun, go ahead and buy the light before you buy the holster. Save yourself some money. If you end up buying a gun and then you buy a holster and then you decide later you want to put a light on it, guess what? You got to get a new holster. Most holsters are red dot compatible, at least nowadays, because red dots are so prevalent. So I would suggest to the new shooter, or someone who's buying a new gun, go ahead and get your weapon mounted light first. Pick one out that is compatible with other holsters. That's why I love Streamlight. And then get your red dot. All right. Lethal Engagement Solutions. You guys take care. Check out the site if you need a holster.